YouTubers, this is Goth here, showing off my new ship. Or I really shouldn't say new. I mean, I had a previous version of this. It was a lot bigger, and I decided to redo it, make it a lot smaller and more usable. Because ships of that size, I feel that are going to be completely useless for the sheer number of thrusters and all the resources it'll take to run them. So I built a smaller version of this with the same amount of detail, like as much detail as I could fit in. I didn't want to shrink it any more than this because it would just be too hard to make it look like the actual ship. So I redesigned my front hull here. It looks all nice. Everything flows well. I feel I can't really say the same for my other ship. And the way I started out doing this was I took these turrets, but they were my larger sized ones, and I copied them into this world and I redid them smaller and actually more precise. I like them actually better, and they're like half the size. And so then I started building this ship around the size of the turrets to make it look right. And don't mind the paddles on the bottom of the ships. I mean, those are just temporary until they can make it so I can make large ship turrets that actually function right, because I do plan to remake these to make them actual 100% functional. But here's the Delphinus from Skies of Arcadia. Now, if you ever played that game, it's a great RPG for the Dreamcast. One of their best games for the Dreamcast. Now if we go, I try to get in as many details as possible. I got the 4 turrets that will be functional, hopefully, once they implement enough features, because right now I don't really feel like making them out of small blocks. Small blocks are just, it'll just lag the game a lot more, making that size of a turret with just small blocks. Yeah, it's like I could get more detail in it, but I don't need any more detail. So I just need it to be able to function and actually use weapons. Large ships currently still cannot use weapons. And they did implement like this heavy armor block. I don't really like it. I don't want camo on my ship because I want the colors to be right. And so as you can see, I got all the little details. I got the fin, which I didn't want to extend out too far because I don't want it to limit the ship openings that it can actually fit through. I got the engines, which I doubled them up on both sides, so they have large engines on both sides. I got functional propeller blades. These actually spin, folks. And yeah, let me go ahead and show you guys right now that I am not lying. I am not lying. Okay, let's go this. My other ships one spun as well. These are a smaller version of them, and they still function exactly the same. Sorry about that autosave. Okay, let's go in here. Go to the propellers, go all the way down. They still haven't made a better function for going through that menu. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set everything to unlimited and set the velocity up. And I do this for all of them, just turn them on, and eventually hopefully I could just package these into one group and just do it one time and it will work with all of them. Okay, so now they're all on, and as you can see, ta-da, the propeller blades are actually functional. And I don't know why I turned off my jetpack, but there we go. Let's get rid of that. So down here we have the docking area that I'm going to be using for. I'm going to be putting a door that rotates open just for temporary until I could make a better door that actually I want it actually to be on hinges that opens downward, like kind of like a castle drawbridge or something. And then we got, so this is where I want ships to be parked. Then if we go further into the back here, this area is where some of the side thrusters and upward thrusters are. And we got, this is going to be where I'm going to be building the little refinery, or I guess you can call it like the factory. Yes, that's exactly it. And the factory. And as you can see, I put some heavy armor blocks for plating to defend these areas, but on the inside, because I don't like the way they look. So yeah, that's just me. And if you go further on down that way, it's just a long empty corridor, which is the front part of the ship. I still have yet to plan what I want to put there. So if you go down here, you can actually enter the engine areas. This is where some gyroscopes are right now. They're temporary until I can find a better place for them. And this is the engine room. There is still some more plating and protection to be added in here, but you can see we got our big actually this ain't even big compared to the other ship that I made, but it got a lot of large thrusters here with the grates that I built to protect from incoming fire, but still have them look like they can be functional from there. Okay, so we got some downward thrusters here, and we got reactors on both sides, and they're lined up so that you can actually put stuff in them with these catwalks. Alright, so here we go. So that's about it at the bottom. There's just more shielding and some more gyroscopes right there. So that's the engine room. Okay, let's go back up the ladder. Oops. I hate how they got rid of the ladders. I just absolutely hate it. Like, it makes it going through these things like impossible now. It's so hard. It's irritating. So like, back up. So if I go up one more floor, it'll actually, you know what? I'm not going to go in this way. I'm going to go in from the front to show you guys from the actual main opening, because so far I've only shown you like the sides and the back of the ship. I really do love the way this looks. I think I did an excellent job for a speed build of only like 4 or 5 hours. I think I did a great job. And let's see here. So we got the turrets. All the turrets are enterable. You can actually go inside each of them. Hopefully I'll be able to make this easier later on, which have just one reactor for now, and just it's pretty empty because I don't have a way to put weapons in this thing. So I mean, just gravity device and some thrusters on every side, which I didn't really like because I don't feel the turrets should have thrusters, but just to get them into place I kind of needed them and make sure they didn't float off while I was building them. Alright, so then we go here. This is the main entrance area on the front or the top of the deck. That room over there is just going to be a storage facility. It's just 2 empty rooms on top of it, you know. So you come in here, we got some turrets to ward off some unwanted intruders. We also got a stairway, but it doesn't go all the way up. I'm still debating if I want to go all the way up like my other ship, but because I want to make it more complicated to actually make it to the bridge. So I don't want it just to be a straight route up. So here we go. We go through this here. This is the main lobby area, which is going to be like the cafeteria, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really put anything in it. They don't really have anything to make it look decorated, but got some cool windows there. And to go down to the bottom floors, you actually go through this doorway, and there's ladders on both sides that lead back down, which I need to rotate these the other way if they ever implement ladders again. Okay, I built functional, stairs up. There's some cool bridge and catwalk areas. This leads back out to this tower area, which you can actually get up here with the ladder, which are non-existent at the moment because they removed them. And you got more stairways up to the next floor, which this is going to be one of the floors which actually has rooms or storage facilities, whatever I decide I want them to be once they've released more stuff. Keep going up here. This is actually, this looks kind of large, and it's a lot of empty space as of right now, but it's room for improvement. And yeah, it's a lot smaller than the other one, I'll give you that much. Ooh, saving, and I hate how I move while I save. So again, another empty room, but this time this has a doorway that leads to the top part of the tower, which actually can lead up to the main top floor, which would be, I guess, this would be like the war room where they plan things and where the captains will hang out when they don't have anything to do. I still don't know where I want the infirmary to be, but let's see here. So this leads out to a little deck area, which you can check out some stuff from here. You can see my cool turrets that hopefully will be functional one day. I have made this ship completely in StarMade, and it's 100% functional with turrets, and I actually put like a bunch of smaller sized turrets like these, but all around the ship, so it could defend from a lot of different directions. The problem with StarMade though is the game doesn't look as nice, and it's a little buggy and glitchy at times, but it's really cool to see these turrets like these turning and firing and hitting stuff. But the AI can shoot your own ship if you don't build your ship right. It'll just fire right through it, and the turrets will glitch and can move in weird ways, whereas this game, if they were to move in an unrealistic way, they would destroy something. So now we got some, oh yeah, I already went up here, duh. So that's where I don't, Oh yeah, that's right. I need to continue building my stairway up so I can actually make it to the bridge from there, which I don't have that built quite yet, but here's a side entrance that we can get into. And this is going to be like the control room where they have, obviously you steer the ship from, and where the crew would be if I'm going to be putting some more stuff to decorate this area. It's a little small. I feel like I'm going to up the roof one more. You can go out this way, and this will lead to like the radio tower, which is like, or the scout tower, I would say. So I built stairways because they removed ladders, and I just felt it would be better. So have stairs halfway, and then the ladder the rest of the way. This takes you up to the area where, like, I guess I would have my radio equipment or navigation or something like that. And then we could fly up out this way, and this leads to the actual top. So I wanted all the parts of the ship to be actually accessible through getting through up ladders and stairways. So, and there's also another door, and you can also use that ladder to take you up right there. And this is just where my beacon is for temporarily. And as you can see, I have a seat here to actually use the ship, because right now, like, using the ship from the actual room that it's intended, it's kind of a little harder because those paddles make the turrets go a little higher than they should be, and it makes it harder to see from. And it's nicer to be able to fly the ship from a higher angle, like point of view, or because as you can see, flying this thing would be kind of difficult. It's still fairly large for a ship. I don't want mine to be like a carrier. I want it to be a mid-sized fighter ship. Like, as you can see, though, it kind of came out still quite larger than their default red ship there. I would say it's about 4 or 5 times larger, I'm sure. But there are people building massive ships that probably will crash servers or won't even be of use, because in order, even right now, I feel like the amount of thrusters in this ship, just to power it feasibly later on, once all the game elements are implemented, like farming uranium to use as fuel for your ship, I could only imagine being able to power like as many thrusters as I have in here. Like we're talking about like upwards of like 50 to 100 thrusters minimum to get this thing moving at it. And gyroscopes, probably a couple hundred at least, to get minimal turning and speed and functionality out of this, just of movement. So imagine just being able, having to fuel those, like the amount of resources that you would need. You would have to control sectors and mine asteroids like no tomorrow, depending on how fast fuel is actually used. But and then you can also, once the, like right now you can shut off engines when you're not using them, so you can conserve fuel. So it's going to be really great when that all is implemented, because shutting off certain features, and as of right now there's no shielding like StarMade has, so if you get hit by anything, like there's going to be damage done to this ship, so repairing this right now would be a pain. So once they get all that implemented, I think that'll be a lot better. I don't know what I should do here. This actually looks pretty strange. Oh, well, let's just leave it like that. Anyway, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed my ship of the Delphinus.